Alright, welcome to the stream. Hopefully I'm going to be going over some dual daggers on the warrior rotation. Let's get out some DPS gear here. Gotta find these boots. There they are. And we could probably have fun with some low speed daggers if you had some. Let's see. I think I sold all mine. To make space in the bank. Fright talent is gone. You can bring a shield too. I'm gonna bring a shield. Alright. We're gonna be doing some tests, rotation wise, in Scarlet Monastery. Thought I'd go over what my gear is right now. Before we do that. Alright. Here's all my tank gear. I saved the nature resistance helmet in case we go to AQ one day and I'm there. I have the Helm of Valor on. What other helmets do we have? Oh, this has a ton of armor helmet, but not as much stamina as Head of Valor, so if you really need some armor for a boss fight, it's got what, 60 more armor. I should have the other fire resistance helmet in here somewhere. Here it is. Fire resistance. A whole bunch of fire resistance crap in the bank still. I also have one of these, so cool. These, and I believe I have a pair of pants that are fire resistance, maybe. Nope, I have these shoulders for nature resist plate. Save those as well. This is the super armor chest piece, I guess. A few other tanky things in here. Some plate. Some old stuff. Nature resistance again. Valor. These came out of nowhere, maybe. These we still have around just in case. For DPS. A sword, a mace, another sword. Whatever these are, right? Crown of Tyranny, just in case. That's really all my tank gear, I guess. Nagel ring or something is in here somewhere, I'm pretty sure. There it is. This thing for frost. This mace, one-hand mace, has frost damage, and same does glacial blade. So one day I'll probably pair the two together for some PvP fun stuff. Alright, that's all we need to see. And then of course, you know, raid pots. Generally some extra raid pots that I had around after raid. Keep a bunch in here. Alright, I just wanted to show you some of the other tanky gear that I have besides the ones that I'm wearing now. A lot of times if I am the tank of a dungeon, I won't use Gauntlets of Valor. Sometimes I use the other helm for fire resistance if we're in Ubers. And sometimes I change this chest with some other chest that I got. Just because when I'm straight tanking, I'm just there to just be tanky. The Valor gear set is pretty strong though, so of course standard. Like the 2 set says, you know, the armor pieces might not have the armor on them, but you get 2 set and there's 200 armor, so of course Valor works out. Same with the 40 attack power as a tank as well. Kind of makes it a not as tanky, but a fun tanky set, kind of. Alright, the real plan is to show the difference in Scarlet Monastery Cathedral. Rotation, so you can see the DPS maybe. And yeah. So let's check it out. Let's see, we got gloves at the top, belt, and then boots, pants above it, and chest piece, and headpiece, and a shield. So really my whole DPS set to get more. You want to look at hit chance, of course, for your DPS set. And then when I was using these simulators, it just so happens to be that some of the pieces with hit chance on them happen to have the best stats as well. Whether you need more hit chance than 9% or not, it will simulate with higher DPS for some of those pieces. So if we check, I don't have Savage Gladiator Chain. Right, I got this one. I'm just sticking with it for now. Cadaverous Armor is actually simming higher than Savage Gladiator Chain by like 1 or 2 DPS, barely. So Cadaverous Armor is probably a good bet if you can't find SGC. I'm just hanging out with Tombstone Breastplate. I think I'll get Cadaverous one day. Also, I could really use True Strike Shoulders are simming higher than Shoulders of Valor, so that's another one that I'm looking for as well. But I got, for the full DPS set, your rank 10 helmet is simming pretty high in comparison with Lionheart helm, so that's what I'll be working on next. Of course, I'm 1 rank away, hopefully this week. For now, Mask of the Forgiven is simming higher than Eye of Rend and Crown of Tyranny for my build. So we're sticking with Mask of the Unforgiven in terms of that. Cape of the Black Baron looking good. Probably get a better enchant. Battleborn Arm Braces are simming better than Vambraces of the Sadist as well. So I'm using the Battleborn Arm Braces because it's simming better than the other ones, even on DPS. So, and I think I have a little bit more armor, maybe. I don't remember, but I'll keep them for tanking. The other pieces of gear, of course, we have that shield that we can put on. Middle of combat, keep it macro. Dual daggers macro, shield macro. This one has like a sword and a something, and this one's got like the sword and the mace. Another one. Obviously they don't work when I click on them. This is my 2-hander. That needs to get swapped with whatever my... Oh, we got this new weapon too. The lightsaber. To whenever I go into Sholo or Strat, give me a nice... I think I'll... If it works, I'll equip this Argent Avenger. Make it proc and then switch to dual daggers. Work with like that. Right now also, ooh, distracting dagger sims a lot higher. Distracting dagger with Gukor Ripper or distracting dagger with, you know, anything. Of course, having Mugger's Belt as well is simming really high. And of course, because I'm using daggers, Mugger's Belt gives me 3% hit chance. Or the equivalent of, even though it doesn't show up on my hit chance number here. Did I say crit? Hit chance. Whatever I said. So it's going to be better than Brigham Girdle if I'm using daggers, and guess what I am. So Distracting Dagger would be huge until you get Corehound Tooth and Perdition's Blade. Once you get Corehound's Tooth and Perdition's Blade, Distracting Dagger is not your bis. So I really need to still get Distracting Dagger. I've checked the sims for the other hit chance before Striker's Mark. So Bloodseeker is just on par, if not 1 or 2 DPS better. At my current hit chance, which is 8 plus 3 from Mugger's Belt, so 11. And then Devil Swords is simming the highest as well for DPS. And Bloodmail Boots, they're better than the Seeker, the Windseeker Greaves. The Sholo first boss that you need the Blood of the Innocents with. So yeah, I thought I was gonna get Windseeker Greaves because I assumed they were better, but they're not. On the simulator, at least. And then once again, Painweaver Band. This shocked me as well. I thought I would keep my Painweaver Band with Don Julio's on, but apparently Blackstone Ring is simming best, higher stats, numbers-wise, than Painweaver and Don Julio's. So I'm getting Blackstone and Don Julio's because it's simming the highest, as well with Hand of Justice and Blackhand's Breath. Alright, for the rotation, you're going to be leveling, starting up. I would charge, rend, thunderclap, switch to Berserker Stance, get a demoralizing shout out, Bloodthirst. If you can't Bloodthirst, I would do anything hamstring, one Sunder, and Heroic Strike. And there we are. It's pretty much how it'll look when you fight mobs. So I have my button rotation set up in a half circle. Let's see how all these buttons are half circle like. We'll save some rage. So the real rotation, especially while leveling, is going to be make sure you always have Battle Shout up. Do that first, right? And then you'll charge, rend, put rend on everything once, go to Thunderclap, and then switch to Berserker Stance. Sometimes I lose rage, so be careful of that. And then I'm going up Bloodthirst, Hamstring, Sunder, Heroic Strike. That's how everything's going to look. For me, with my talent build, I didn't have Bloodthirst until actually level 60, the way that I prefer it. So let's try a battle without Bloodthirst, because that's just not going to really be. While leveling, you're not going to be there. So, got my Battle Shout out. I did Rend, Thunderclap, Demoralizing Shout. Oh, I got some extra rage. Let's try and dump some. Berserker Stance, Hamstring, Sunder Armor, and then Heroic Strike to death. Usually I'll get Rend, Thunderclap, Demoralizing Shout, switch to Berserker Stance, Hamstring, Sunder Armor, and then I'm just, let's use Berserker Rage and use Heroic Strike a couple times. Throw in Sunder too. Another fun thing to do is let's count. Counting is kind of like one of your best things you can do as a Daggers warrior. We're going to be doing 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. 1, 2. So you'll mess with your auto attacks. Counting it's good. Rend, Thunderclap, Berserker Stance, Demoralizing Shout, Hamstring, Sunder Armor. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm making my casts after 3. So 1, 2, 3. 1. Oh, what did I have a button held down? That was 4. You can hear it sometimes. Alright, let me try and get a good one. Rend, Thunderclap, Berserker Stance, lost some rage. Demoralizing Shout. Alright, well, let's not fight a wizard. 2 more wizards right behind me. Another wizard over there. If we're going to do the count thing. Oh, there's 2 of them? Alright, there's 2 of them. It's normal. Ren first. Thunderclap. Battle Shout. Demoralizing Shout. Lost some rage with that. Should throw in a whirlwind there. 2, 3. And, I mean, if you just wait a second anyways, you'll have a bunch of rage. I'll spend some. Get low. Right there I just spent rage until I had 10 rage left, and then I tabbed target. Use execute and tab back. So it was really easy to kind of dump all my rage on the high health guy instead of use all my rage on the guy about to die with an execute. Rend. Thunderclap. Demoralizing Shout. Berserker Stance. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And I'll start to swing at 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, I missed it. And that'll kind of be where your rage... When you're counting like that, your rage will... You'll be at high rage. So, give it 1 or 2 swings. 1, 2 swings, and then cast. 1, 2 swings, cast. 1, 2 swings, cast. See, I'm pretty high rage. Cast. 1, 2, cast. I think that was a 1, 1, 2, and then he's low. We'll finish him off. We get Rens out on everybody. Ooh. What am I just critting with my cleaves? Not last cleave. Just to get rid of rage. Play that one wrong. I was stuck at 1 rage. Chased him down. Alright, so that's kind of what it feels like in the, Does that work? In the DPS gear set. Would have been good if I had the recount up at the beginning, huh? Well, we'll do another fight in DPS to see what it's like, DPS-wise. Rend, Thunderclap, Demoralizing Shout, Berserker Rage, press some buttons, and then Hamstring once, Thunder Armor once, so we got twice with the, finish them off with Heroic. This is generally what it feels like when I'm facing a mob at my level. Oh, just right the spot, Hamstring, Thunder, and just keep. Hammer Heroic Strike, Hammer Thunder Armor, or Hammer Heroic Strike and Hammer Hamstring. Most times you already got the Rend out. So Rend, Thunder Armor, and Hamstring work with your... They make your auto attack proc. So if I can find a single mob, we can see how if I press Hamstring, it makes me auto attack after. If I use Thunder Armor, it makes me auto attack after. If I use Rend, it makes me auto attack after. So, Thunder Armor, Hamstring, and Rend share a cooldown, and Heroic Strike does not. So you can press Rend, Heroic Strike, and Thunder Armor, Heroic Strike, and Hamstring, and they don't share cooldowns. I don't even know what I was doing there. You can kind of have fun with Warrior like that, but generally speaking, you want the wind to run in your favor, and because you want the wind behind your back, kind of tipping the scales on your crit. What I mean by that, if we do a battle right here where we don't Rend, we don't Thunderclap, and we don't Demoralizing Shout, the wind, as I like to call it, is not in our favor. Because Thunderclap reduces their attack speed by 25%. Because Demoralizing Shout reduces their attack damage by 146 attack power. And you should, like I said, always have Battle Shout up. Okay, the wind is in your favor. The fight goes very quickly. Doesn't really matter what the DPS on the chart is necessarily. You can tell the fight lasts for a shorter amount of time. So if we don't do that, and all we're worrying about is Heroic Strike and Hamstring and Heroic Strike and Sunders, it feels like the fight goes longer. But if we have Rend, Thunderclap, Demoralizing Shout, with Battle Shout, all up, we go to Berserker Stance, do everything properly. Yeah, it might take longer in the beginning, but you do feel the wind of the crits. The wind in your favor. Oh, we just fought a wizard, and that one was a tough guy. No wonder it felt longer. So, I usually do this in my tanky gear. But we're staying alive pretty good. That's kind of the perfect practice rotation there. You can put out Cleave on your bar if you don't feel like going to Berserker Stance. If you're not feeling cocky and confident about having Berserker Stance, or if your gear isn't that great, yeah, just put Cleave up in your bar. You're not going to be in Berserker Stance that often. Then we'll just use Cleave. Rend, Thunderclap, switch to Berserker Stance, Demoralizing Shout. We're not feeling that cocky. Let's go back to Battle Stance. Cleave once or twice. Back to your Hamstring, Sunder Armor, Hammer, Heroic Strike, Hamstring, Sunder Armor, Heroic Strike. Stuff ends up just dying. It's not really pretty. Your DPS doesn't look that big, but you're pretty consistent, and you can do 3,000 crits with an execute, I guess. Still. And I would just get into getting used to remembering, finding a way to make your buttons work. My Heroic Strike offhand crit, and I had enough for execute. So I do have my Heroic Strike macroed, I should say that, to cast execute first, and Heroic Strike after, whenever I click Heroic Strike. So that helps too. But Thunderclap, Rend, Demoralizing Shout, let's get this run on the other guy, and just a bunch of Heroic Strikes. You could even just be fine with that. That's usually how I level, actually. Sunder Armor, Hamstring, alright, just Heroic Strikes. So I'm a little bit rigged, of course, with 60 DPS gear. Let's put on what you'll probably feel like, which is my tanky gear set. It'll probably feel like you're fighting like this half the time. Rend, Thunderclap, Demoralizing Shout. It might take longer, but of course you can see, if you have Bloodthirst is great to use once to keep your health high. And then finish it in Berserker Stance. Use some Heroic Strikes. You could use Sunder to get your auto attacks to go. And then that's execute at the finish. That's what it feels like, really. I would stick to this strat here and stay as sturdy as you can with the Rend and the Thunderclap, and the Demoralizing Shout with the Battle Shout. This is what a fight should look like for anybody leveling. The Battle Shout, the wind is in my favor. He's got a Sunder Armor on him. We're barely taking damage. I'm a troll, so I have in health combat regeneration. We are Rend, Thunderclap, Demoralizing Shout, to Berserker Stance, Hamstring, Sunder Armor. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's gonna work like that most every time. I'll get into it even if you don't charge. You know the rage. You don't have the rage for your Rend, Thunderclap at the start. I would get into it. Demoralizing Shout. I've been given a few seconds, so I have a bunch of rage. Now we can count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it really helps to do the counting. You saw me get stuck there where I'm trying to hit Heroic Strike hard and fast, and it just won't. Well, I guess I was hitting it so hard and fast that I had the wind in my favor that time. No problem there. Rend, Thunderclap. This is a heavy guy, so the fight will take longer. The Berserker Stance, Hamstring, Sunder Armor, And now I'm just hammering Heroic Strike, so sometimes it takes a little while. Or you get lucky. Every other time that I tried doing that, it took a while. Let's just do a Heroic Strike fight then. In battle stance. Sometimes it takes a while. Here we go. Yep. So because sometimes it takes a little while, I try to do the floor count. 3, 4. There it is. And now I feel like I have a ton of rage because I did my 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. It just kind of works out. I'm not even looking at my bar when I do that. 1, 2, swing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I got some rage. And what I did there was I used Heroic Strike and casted Hamstring right after, which is a fun little trick. So, you know, Heroic Strike, Hamstring. Heroic Strike, Sunder. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. Heroic Strike, Sunder. Only 1 came out. You'll get a feel for it, and then you'll get into it like I was there. And when I got into it there, it was just, like I said, the wind was in my favor. Right? Now I'm killing stuff slow. My battle shout's off. I'm not using rend. I don't have demoralizing shout up. The wind is not in my favor. Everything, I'm hitting Heroic Strike as many times as I can, and it's just going slow. So once the wind was in my favor, it was like continuous stacking. And then of course the mobs are about to get tougher. So I want that wind to be in my favor, huh? And then of course when I'm at 60, or when I can use Bloodthirst, I'll explain talents in a sec. You'll want to be using Bloodthirst right then, before you go into the Hamstring, Sunder, Heroic Strike combo. We'll do it here. Wait till we get Bloodthirst first, Hamstring, Sunder Armor, Heroic Strike, finish. Talents wise, while leveling up, I'll start in arms. This is what I have at 60. Okay. For leveling up, yep, I use this one. I want to get 3 points in Heroic Strike. That's my first thing I do. Second thing, either get 2 in Deflection if you want it, or 2 in Rend. While leveling, I had 2 points in Rend because I was using Rend more consistently at least. So if you don't care about the deflection, that's what I was doing. I have the deflection now because this is what I'll use to tank with sometimes if we need to be more tanky. This is your versatile build because you have bonus rage when you charge, plus 6 rage, right? And if you're tanking, of course, as well, you have minus 4 rage for Thunderclap. So effectively with these talents, you'll get a bonus 10 rage out of it combined every pull that you use charge to start initiate with. So this talent here, Anger Management, if you Google it or if you check right now, if I get into a combat with a bunny, I'll just be generating rage. 1 rage every 3 seconds, I believe. 1 rage every 5. You can Google it right now. Google Anger Management if you need to. So this says 1 rage every 3 or 1 rage every 5 seconds while in combat it generates. And of course, Tactical Mastery, like you saw me trying to, switch my stance when I had 25 rage or less. You can see my little rage number when I fight. If I have 25 rage or less, I try to switch stances at that point. That's your optimal point to switch stances. Sometimes it doesn't work out, and you switch stances, and you need to stay alive. So You just gotta stay alive. That rage is too bad, right? And then specifically while leveling, I'll do 3 in Heroic Strike, 2 in Rend, 2 in Improved Charge right there, and then 3 in Improved Thunderclap. By this time, you're around level 20-ish. Probably around your level 22 is when you're going to start using your stance. You're going to go from defensive to battle stance. I'll show that right now for fun. What will I do sometimes when I'm low HP? You can watch your guy swing. Bam. He just swung his staff. Oh, he just swung his sword. He's swinging again. Now that he's swinging, I'm going to switch to battle. Wait a minute. I'll be in defensive stance for 1, and then I'll watch him about to swing. I'll switch to defensive and back. If he's about to swing, I switch to defensive and back. Oh, he's just swinging again? Alright, so we missed one. We're still in defensive, but I'm staying alive. This will be easy. Swing with the staff. He just swung. Wait, one more. Now that he swung and hit me, I'll go to defensive stance battles. He's about to hit me. There it is. Oh, and I'll go back to back to battle. Back to defensive. He's about to swing. Go to defensive and keep casting like that. And keep hitting Heroic Strike and Sunder or Heroic Strike and Hamstring the whole time while doing that. And you'll be, or even just Heroic Strike alone, and you'll save your lives so many times. I've had so many fights where I'm at like 18 health. I made it to 5 health and I'm still alive, just watching him hit me, and then staying and getting 1 attack out, and then going back just as he hits me. Can't even see him swing. And keep using Heroic Strike as I'm doing that. So that every time he swings, I'm always in defensive stance for the hit. That's what you want to focus on. Make sure that you're in defensive stance every time you get hit. That should be your priority in those moments. You always pull 2 here. Be in defensive stance. I'm not going to make this. I missed it. Okay, we'll get 1 out, and then back to defensive stance. And be there when he swings. That's your strategy for... Oh, I'm low health. What am I going to do? Oh, we got to fight. We're getting a little bit serious here. I'll get my wind going. Try and get my Rend Thunderclap up on these guys. Demoralizing Shout. We're looking... We lost 7 rage there. Whatever. We're in Berserker stance now, though. Looking good. New fight. New fight. I'll use Bloodthirst to keep me alive. Every time I switch opponents, I'll usually try and get 1 or 2 Bloodthirsts out, depending on how high the opponent's health is. Alright, we got Battle Shout out. Let's get this wind in my favor. Rend, Thunderclap, Demoralizing Shout, Berserker stance. That was off. I usually do Berserker stance before Demoralizing Shout. Hamstring, Bloodthirst, Sunder, Heroic Strike. Charge, rend both things. Go to my Thunderclap. I got too much rage right now. And I'm slow at it. Now I switch to Berserker stance. Alright, cool. I have enough rage for a little pummel. I'll just auto attack him because I have so much rage. I haven't been using the Bloodthirst. Gotta use that. And things go quick when you have that wind in your favor. They really do. But let's try and focus on the... Ooh, I lost 1 rage. The Bloodthirst here. And I'm targeting the caster first. Sunder, Hamstring, Execute, Heroic Strike. Hamstring, Sunder. Does he already have the Rend on him? Yeah, he does. He's already got the Thunderclap on him. He's going to take a second. Might as well go to get my Rends out on everything. Back to battle stance. Thunderclap. We can use Berserker. We got a wizard here. Let's take him down fast. He's only take 3 hits. Will be a little bit risky. The wind is in our favor. He still has Rend on him. He still has Thunderclap on him. He doesn't have Demoralizing Shout. Give me this wind back in my favor. That's really the rotation tutorial. Should we throw a shield on for the middle of the fight? Well, we missed that, but have the macro so you can throw it on whenever you want. The macro is... Am I using this one? I'm using that icon, but I'm using the other one of that icon. Your main hand is equip slot 16. Your offhand is equip slot 17. So whatever's going to go in your main hand, type it in. Right? Making a new one is pretty easy. You can shift click it. And it goes right in. So we'll do one for fun. And save it. Let's change this icon to something shield-like looking. It's not a warrior already. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Maybe this one. Shield-like. Let's go that one. Save. Drag on the bar. And of course we have dual daggers, but I want to get shieldy, so I'm going to hit my shieldy macro. But I'm fighting against undead, so I don't want to keep my same dagger. This macro here just puts the shield on, so you can mess with it. Oh. That's really the macro there. You can play with them and have fun with it. I would generally use daggers to get some rage, and then switch my two-hand on and clobber him once or twice, and then go back to dual daggers after I've used my two abilities. That's really all I got for you in terms of rotation. I would explain the Berserker Stance and Blood Rage combo trick with cooldowns. You have your Berserker Rage ability, which whenever you take damage, it generates rage. So once you get into things and things are popping and you're feeling confident, you've been doing this a little bit, you can start your rotation with that. So charge, you can start out with Blood Rage, Thunderclap, Demoralizing Shout, go to Berserker Stance, click Berserker Rage, and be having more rage than you should. I would probably use that every... Let me switch, get my Thunderclap out. My Rend. Wins in my favor. Uses Bloodthirst. Uses Hamstring. Get the Sunder out. Not even need it. We got it out anyways. And I think Render, Deep Wounds got him to death. Wow, I should really actually go over this talent page for finally. Yeah, I start 3 in Heroic, 2 in Rend. I go straight to Charge, the Thunderclap after that. Like I said, now at the point you're level 20, 22, you're probably going to be using Defensive Stance your first couple of times here and needing it. So just get Tactical Mastery and finish off Anger Management next. Because you have the dual daggers, Unbridled Wrath is great. If we check the log here, my actions, Unbridled Wrath, Unbridled Wrath, Unbridled Wrath, Unbridled Wrath. It happens pretty quick. Whenever you auto-attack, you gain 1 rage. You have a chance, too. You've got a chance. So we can see it happen. We already got 1. We got 2. There's a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So it happens pretty often, that Unbridled Wrath, especially with daggers. And of course that's going to work in unison with your Anger Management, 1 rage every 5 seconds talent. So for this talent tree, I'm going straight for that crit. Booming Voice, I don't really care. Unbridled Wrath. If you're tanking, you could always get Demoralizing Shout. This will increase your threat for sure if you're trying to tank. Then get Unbridled Wrath, like I explained. We just saw it happens a lot. You get it 1 rage every time. You have a chance to 40%. That's pretty good with daggers. You attack a lot with daggers. Blood Craze while leveling. You get this. get this. There's so many times where my healer is like, "Whoa, dude, you have blood graze. You are the best tank in the world," and I'm like, "And I'm also a troll. Isn't that cool?" Whenever you get crit, you regenerate some health. It's pretty. It adds up. Does it happen that often? Who knows? It just adds up. Healers like it. And then I'll get the 2 points in cleave. Generally, when I tank, I'm charge, berserker stance, berserker raise, defensive stance, cleave, 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 tap target, cleave, sunder, tap target, cleave, sunder, tap target, cleave, cleave. Revenge whenever it happens. I can execute him. I'll switch to battle stance and execute. Against 3 or more opponents, I'll pop the shield on. And then once it's 2 opponents after that, craze goes down. If there's, you'll figure out if you're... Are you taking damage when 3 opponents are hitting you? Alright, put the shield on. It's that time. Well, can you handle taking damage in dual daggers until 5 opponents start to attack you? Alright, somebody overpulled. Let's put the shield on and make sure, take everything, make it easy on my healer. And then, after that, we're going into the standard build of Fury talents, which is dual wield, specialization, execute, and enrage. I was feeling it my turn when I was leveling, and I put the 2 points in execute right away because I was ready to use execute. If you're still having noob issues and you're new, I remember how my first time playing warrior, I was like, I don't even know how to use execute, there's too many buttons, and I would forget all the time. If that's the case, yeah, prioritize execute last and get... What I was doing was I would get 1 point in enrage first and 1 point in dual wield, 2 points in enrage, a second point in dual wield, a third point in enrage, a third point in dual wield, and that's what I did after I got my 2 points in execute. So if you're able to use execute and you got it down, then yeah, put the points in execute first, and then I was just doing 101 until I finished these both. I really love having this talent where you generate 10 rage anytime that you go into berserker stance, because like I said, when I'm tanking dungeons, when I'm being a tank, there's nothing better than starting off the fight with a charge. Oh, the positioning is different. Where's Rend even on this bar? Here it is. Get some Rends out. Demoralizing shout. Let's do that. And then I would quickly go to berserker stance, click berserker rage, do a whirlwind quick if I could. If I couldn't, I just switched to battle or defensive stance. Sheesh, we'll do that once more once we fix this bar around to the way we like it. Alright. Battle shout first. Holy smokes. Battle shout whenever you can. Get that wind in your favor. Charge. Rend. Thunderclap. Demoralizing shout. Berserker stance. Berserker rage. Tab target a few times if you can. Otherwise, just go straight to battle. Go straight to defensive stance. And tab target cleave. Rend. Can I get a thunderclap out? I can't. We'll just do some tricks here. It's berserker stance, berserker rage. Quickly to battle stance, quickly to defensive stance. Alright, let me try doing this live. Actually, I'm a tank. Here's what I'm doing. I got my flurry up. My improved berserker rage is on. I don't even need death wish or bloodthirst. We're gonna go in. Charge. Rend. Actually, you should switch. Let's do thunderclap first. Rend after if we can. Berserker stance. And then tab target cleave in battle stance. If you can't handle it, go to if there's 3 or 4 mobs or 5 mobs, go to defensive stance. Otherwise, I recommend going to battle stance even when tanking. If you can handle it and you're okay. If you're going down, you're getting hit hard and you're in half leather gear. I mean, I usually try to keep full mail gear the whole time. charge, thunderclap, berserker stance, whirlwind, defensive stance, tap target cleave, tap target sunder, tap target rend. Switch to battle stance for the execute, back to defensive stance for the tank. Now there's one guy left, we'll switch to berserker stance for a hit or two. And that was all we needed, was that berserker stance hit. The wind was in our favor. So yeah, a lot of people are very stubborn with, you know, what are the numbers? What does it look like? What's happening with that? I try to think of it in terms of I'm alive. We're doing great. I'm going to be alive if I thunderclap, demoralizing shout, thunderclap, berserker stance, berserker rage, and switch back to defensive stance, and I tap target cleave or tap target sunder, or even tap target rend, and keeping my demoralizing shout up, cleaving when I can. When there's one or two guys left, I'll switch back to battle stance and throw in an execute if I can. That's how it looks like. Alright, the final one. Go in, thunderclap, berserker stance, berserker rage. I can get out of the whirlwind quick to defensive stance, rend targets, demoralizing shout, tap target cleave, demoralizing shout, tap target cleave, center armor tab, heroic strike, center armor tab. Revenge. He's low health. We'll get an execute, back to battle stance. One guy left. I'll stay in battle stance and try to get an execute out. But instead get out a hamstring and heroic strike. And maybe an execute. I couldn't tell. So yeah, this is pretty much the full deal for everything, rotation wise. And of course, like I was showing you too, once I hit 60, my talent build was different. Once I started to get 60 items and I had damage, like I explained, you know, the build I'm using right now is tanky. All this gear is tanky gear. Okay, Pauldrons of Valor, Helm of Valor, we got the Market Forging. Alright, if I was in my DPS set, we have 8% hit with Mugger's Belt giving plus daggers. For another 3%. And if you're tanking, just find plate gear. You're gonna feel so much better being an all plate set if you're tanking, and you can tank any 60 dungeon with these talents just fine. Once you have enough damage, you can go with this one. If you don't have enough damage, remember you don't really need Death Wish or Bloodthirst as a tank. I mean, Bloodthirst is great if you have it, but you know, this tanky stuff, you don't really have that much attack power. Let's check that out. Maybe I have more attack power in. That's funny. I have more attack power in my tanky gear set, technically, because of all the strength. But, yeah, the DPS gear set is different. That's definitely better. So, yeah, this talent page, get the Berserker Rage up, right? And once you start to feel comfortable, once you start to have real plate gear with the stats you need, and you're having the, you know, pre-bisp plate gear pretty much, alright, switch your talent page to the Bloodthirst talent page. And, of course, I have 3 in Rend, 3 in Deep Wounds, and 2 in Impale. And oddly enough, that Impale and Deep Wounds is going to do, you know, that extra damage that you were missing in your tanky build. But your tanky build is going to be so versatile with your extra rage you get from charging, with the extra rage you have from thunderclapping. It's going to make tanking your first time be phenomenal. Tanking your first time is going to be a breeze with these talents. You're going to feel it, right? And even if you have the 2 points in parry, that'll probably feel great too. So I tank all 60 dungeons with, you know, a plate gear set. And I wanted to show you the other pieces of gear at the beginning as well in my bank. But generally speaking, you have, you know, one plate set here or there, a couple of nature resist, maybe a fire resist piece, right? You switch. I have some high armor pieces in my bank. I have a frost resist one, a couple armor rings, the Nagel ring. I don't really use those ones that often. I usually keep these trinkets and these rings for when I'm tanking even, and it's working out pretty much just fine. So if you get to a point where you really need to take down a boss and you're not full pre-bis or good enough gear to tank a boss, okay, let's put on the Nagel ring. Alright, let's put on the other tanky ring that gives armor. You know, let's find that one trinket, Force of Will, or maybe the trinket you got from the Mardon quest. And take it from there. But yeah, these talents are amazing for tanking. And then, why don't we have fun really quick, and I'll check out the simulator with you guys for fun. I don't care. If you have higher damage with your thing, I'm glad that we have this chat. But I'm going to be... You saw a bunch of weapons in my bank, and you also can see my macros that are... This is the dual daggers. This was like the sword and the mace. This was like the 2 swords, right? We just made another one. Okay, so I am definitely somebody who is ready to have a discussion and go over... Oh, you like other weapons? Yeah, me too. I switch in weapon sets all the time, and I have different weapons for different things. But if we're going to be straight looking at the simulator here, we have pre-bis, right? Press simulate. This is, of course, with if we are a human. Alright, so we're talking about Horde. Save settings. Let me make a name. M1. Whatever. This is for orcs. Alright. So human has 12, 13 with that. An orc, because they have +5 or axes, has 1300. And of course this is fully enchanted, right? Even with all these buffs that you assume that you have, all these enchants as well, it'd be a lot less, maybe like 300 if we were talking about my character in game right now. I'm not buffed, nobody's in my party, blah blah blah. But we're looking at the number difference, whether it's 300 right now in game or it's just has everything on it, right? You can see immediately that just having plus axes with 2 axes is huge. So now we're going to look at, this is, you know, what they say for pre-bis. Alright, we're going to look at what I say is the pre-bis for daggers. Two of your best daggers are going to be the ones with the lowest speed. So 1.3, you could get this pretty easily from Ubers. Pip Skinner, 1.3 speed. The damage is pretty standard. We're looking at that 1.3 speed to go with this distracting dagger. And simulate. We are 60 damage plus just from daggers. Yeah, guess what? A ton of orcs that I talk to, and they happen to be warriors. They're like, F that, I don't care. I see it's higher. I get it. And they still want to do axes. Let's look at another one. Karis. This is the other one I used to have. So this is, let's say that we can't get the dagger drop from Ubers, and we have a standard dagger. Pretty standard, right? Still 35 difference from those 2 axes. And then the final, let's say Lobotomizers is out right now, because it is for me at least. And your Lobotomizer is still doing lower damage than your Pip Skinner because of that weapon speed, I believe. 1362. I'm getting +3 damage because of this stupid weapon speed, allowing me to do much more rage and so on. Math is real. It exists. It also exists in this video game. It's one of those things. So that's that for, you know, let's check. I think these guys like Deathbringer. Let's put in Deathbringer for these guys, these orcs. And right now we're still as an orc. Onslaught Girdle, Edge Masters. We're looking at 1463. We'll put in these aged core leather greaves, leather gloves, and this mugger's belt. And 1463 versus, we're in molten core. We've done Oni. 1470. So we're looking at 13 to 15. Wait, no, 10? 8 to 10 bonus damage with these. And of course, we could try what Edge Masters would have. 1473. Yeah, your Age Core leather gloves are just going to be better than your Edge Masters at this point for daggers. 1460 versus, you know, $15 more damage with these Age Core leather gloves than the Edge Masters, so that's pretty cool. Let's look at P2 Bis. Are there any axes? Can I type in? Oh, I can't type an axe. Let's see. Deathbringer still. Well, let's click P2 Bis, see what the number is. If I was an orc and I had these, we got 1421. If I'm an orc and I have those, $1421 to $1465, looking good. And then we can as well. Wait a minute. P2, right? Yeah. All right, cool. We'll do the same thing. Get the gloves. You know what we're gonna check? We'll check something. P2. Yep. Horde. And oh, it's right there. So again, 10 damage higher, 13 damage higher maybe. Let me see. This with these axes, Deathbringer, and the Flamewalker, Flame Guard. Huh, Edge Masters are doing better, it looks like, than Flame Guard. How weird is this? So, yep, 10 damage higher than... Edge Masters are doing 10 damage higher. Wow. But again, who has that gold? And, you know, like I said, Age Core leather gloves are just right there. But bling, nobody even needs... Like, 2 rogues need them, and then you're done. 2 out of 5 rogues, usually. Alright, let's check this list of Prebis for Phase 3. What's a Phase 3 axe? Phase 3. Let's get rid of the 2 hands. Whoa. One-handed axe? This could be good game. This dagger argument could end here. Can you have this in... Oh, it's unique. Dagger. Hand axe? Or cleaver? One chance crit, 28, 207, 207, 29. Oh, it's just one. Okay. And that's about it. That's a sword, and everything else is nuts. $15.78. Same thing with these gauntlets. Marshall's plate gauntlets. $15.79. No, $15.50. And Flame Guard as well. $15.60. Okay, so we're looking at $15.76. Holy smokes, this is gonna be the battle that we lose. Where are we at? P3? Nice. Age Core leather gloves. Mugger's belt. Is this a dagger right here? No. Grandmaster's Dirk. Possibly. Claw of Chromagus. Nope. Claw of the Black Drake. Main hand? Okay, that's... Oh, that's a fizz weapon. 2.6p, that doesn't count. Dagger, Dragon Fang, Blade? Maybe? I don't think so. 1.8, 16 agility? Where's Perdition's Blade? Do we pass it? .2 speed, I don't like that very much. Yeah, we did pass it. All right, cool. 1.8, 58 DPS. 2.0, 59 DPS. 143 top damage. 137 top damage. All right, we'll keep the Perdition's Blade. We'll get this in the offhand. Why not? 1576 versus. So your Daggers looking a little bit low here. In phase 3. One damage less. Let's get this back on, Mug. That one damage higher. Edge matches shouldn't really do much. Nope, they're lower. Marshall's gloves. Even lower than aged core leather gloves. Let's get aged on. High warlords. Let's change it to core hound tooth. Let's see if this does anything. 1530. Alright, what if we have the high warlord's razor and a high warlord's razor? 1550. Alright, so daggers are proccing 20 less in this phase. Unless, of course, we can find a helmet from Emerus. What's the name of that? We're gonna go to, let's see how this goes. I do want to check this, so that's why we're here. There is a helmet, I believe. I think it's gonna be less. This is gonna be a worthless check. What could be the other weapon that we would use? Yeah, Dragonflang's not going to do anything. It's lower damage. 1526. We can go to Circlet of Restless Dreams. There's no way this can. Oops. Does it say what phase it's out? Well, we'll have to check it here. What is it called? Circlet. Guess it's not there. Alright, so phase 3 axes are looking better. What is this? Then daggers. Let's check phase 4. Wait, what? Nothing even changed. Just 30 attack power shoulders. Here's where it gets interesting, though. Is up in here with this one Sting? I guess it's not out yet. Maybe it doesn't get interesting in here. ZG and AB? Oh, okay, that's why. Phase 5, when things really happen. Now we have your... And then what were the axes that would Gore Crush? Is it unique? Yeah, it's unique. Okay. Oh, and your hand axe. 1622. Gauntlets of Annihilation look good. Let's get the Mugger's belt on. And I guess we went over that this Dirk may be higher than Pedersen's blade. A razor in one hand. Sting out now. Yes, it is. Death Sting with +3 daggers. Oof. 1622 to... Ooh, it's looking 5 damage higher already. There might be a better dagger. Is this better? It is. 1.7 attack power per chance to hit. And we're at, oof, phase 5 AQ. We're at, like, looking really high. 20 damage plus in comparison to axes. I'm not so sure about axes anyway. Blessed Karaji War Axe, 8 intellect. Blessed Karaji Warhammer, the Ripper. Shadow Sang. Deathbringer. Doom's Edge. Yeah, I'm still looking low on axes. And then phase 6, if we can even get this to go. 1740. Two swords. We got 2 swords here. What do we got for axes? This is an axe. The first axe on the list. One hand unique. Offhand. You're kidding me. That's the only axe? Nah. Oof. Alright, so 1682 versus 1734. You're still looking better with these swords as an orc than we are with those axes. Let's keep this belt and get the aged core lover gloves. Go for these 2 daggers, King's Fall and Sting. 1739 to 1750 something. So every phase except for P3, these daggers are looking better than these axes. Just pretty crazy. Circlet? They just don't have that circlet here. Oh! It is here. This can't be happening. 1749? Yeah. Alright. There's the full. All I got for you. Daggers. On a warrior. Full tutoriation. Yeah, I would get... those stats are wrong. What? Plus defense. Yeah, just plus daggers. That's pretty cool. Shows defense here. So yeah, my best simulator right now, though, I'll go over me real quick, is going to be this, let's simulate 1289 to Muggers, no, Aged. Aged Core Leather Greaves to Muggers. Yep. Oh, thank you. Corehound Tooth. Probably look something like this. Prebis though, we'll have Devil Sauron, and right now I have Gut Gore because that was an easy dagger to get. With Lobotomizer is going to show lower damage. 1408, we got 1340, and now we're going to get Distracting Dagger. And we are back in the 1370s plus a bunch. 40 damage more, 30 damage more for Distracting Dagger. So we can make things easy and say Lobotomizer is what you'll have out the gate. And remember your Pip Skinner. 1360 versus 1364. So if you can get pips, you don't even need to do AV, and it's Distracting Dagger. SGC you'll never get easy enough right at the start. Obsidian Mail Tunic? No, we're at phase 2. Your Ogre Forged Hauberk. Let's check this versus SGC. 8 damage, 10 damage less. Let's try and finish this off real quick. Tombstone Breastplate, the one that I have. 1360, 1359, 3 or 4 damage more. Cadaverish Armor is the only one in contesting with SGC right now. 1372. Let's do another one. 1374 versus SGC. 1363, it's like 1064, 65. It's 8 or 9 higher to get your Cadaverous Armor, so that's going to be my next bet. True Strike Shoulder, we don't have Lionheart Helm. I'm going to use Champion's Plate Helm, 1365. So 8 damage less. Yep, that's the one I picked. If you can get, yep, Mask of the Forgiven is going to be proccing 1350. 1348 versus Eye of Rend. 1345. 46. So your Mask of the Unforgiven is still going to proc a little bit higher. This is what I would do for Prebis. 1351, and then we also have Battleborn. 1351, 1352, and Battleborn's doing 2 or 4, a couple a little bit higher. So this is what I would look like pre-raid. Rip Hook. You could also get Black Crow, 1354. This is your AV, and we are 54 to 57. So your Black Crow is doing better than your, wow, whatever that was, Satyr's Bow, or your, wait, Black Crow? That's not what we want. We want Bloodseeker. 1357. So you're back at Black Crow, final thing. 1357, 1356. So Bloodseeker could be a lot easier than trying to get 1353. You're 2 to 3 damage off with your Bloodseeker versus, I mean, you could get Satyr's Bow probably more easy. Same thing. Satyr's Bow is going to be 2 or 3 damage difference than your Bloodseeker Bow. And then let's check this as well. This is the other thing I saw. Blackstone Ring with Don Julio's. 1356 to 1367. So we are 10, 12 damage higher. Having Don Julio's and Blackstone Ring. And the final one is Pain Reaver. And we are at the end of this video. 1367 to 1361, 62. So your Pain Weaver, excuse me, your Don Julio's and Blackstone Ring are actually going to have the highest combo together. And then finally one day you'll get Lionheart Helm, hopefully, or at least Champion Plate Helm first. Who knows? Which will boost your damage by 10-ish. Lionheart Helm will boost it by 20-ish. So, and then hopefully we get Devil Star Gauntlets changed to H-Core Leather Gloves. And we get another 10 out of that total. Right? Oh, looks like Double Stars are in contention. Doing pretty good there. So you can keep Double Stars around as long as you want, but get your H-Core Leather Gloves, like I showed you guys in the other phases, you'll want to have Mugger's Belt and H Core, a variation between the two, all throughout. So that'll be the other thing you're looking for. Alright, this is the longest video ever. I was hoping this would be 5 minutes, but hopefully I'll clip it and make it into different sections, or, man, maybe you watch the whole thing. That'd be great, too. And hopefully like it. I have a lot of fun with this Daggers build. It's changed World of Warcraft for me because it's now my favorite. It was very funny. I didn't think I was ever going to make a warrior. Actually, it's on this other guy. Let me try and go quick, go quick, go quick. It's not this one that we need to be looking at. Go, 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 go. 2, 1. Okay, final thing. This is my favorite part. This is my original account. We'll go to Classic Era server, where it all began. And I think they're on Windseeker now. That should be where they're at. So I made one of each class. This is the order that they went in. I made a Druid first, yeah, Mage, pretty much down the line. Druid, Mage, Priest, Shaman, Warlock. I had done Druid, then Mage, Priest, Warlock. Got them all to level 5. Druid was 10, so on and so forth. And then I got my Shaman, my Rogue, and my Hunter to level 20. I got everybody to level 20. My main Druid was 32. My Warrior had just begun at level 2. And after finding dual Daggers, he became my new main. I didn't even think I was going to play a Warrior. I thought two-handed Warriors was going to stink. It was going to take so long. At level 2, I found a gray dagger drop on this guy, and somebody had told me beforehand to try daggers out, and there it was. That was the end of it all. Now I'm addicted to... now I'm a World of Warcraft Daggers Warrior. Whereas in the past, I would have mained a Warlock, or the Druid became cool, and the Mage was a lot of fun too. So I definitely recommend playing one of each class and having fun like that. But once you play Warriors, please give it a shot. Escander's Right Claw, Brutality Blade is what he has at the very end of his reign. Alright, you guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I will catch you guys next time. Hopefully I will even see you in game. What do I say? Like, follow, subscribe if you can. Help me out a little bit. Whatever it is, I'll be doing more of these soon. And don't forget to check this website, wowsims.github.io/classic/warrior, and mess around with this. See if you can get any others out of it too. Pretty cool website. Alright, thank you very much.